So, so that's
Where's my sword?
so that's coming.
Where is my sword?
Okay. Let me open up something else.
I do not have one, so that's why I scream it. Where's my
See.
sword? I do not have a male child. Only
Hold on
Queemans.
for a second.
Queemans hold the power of recreations.
Queemans.
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 Queemans hold the power of creations.
Did you bring in my cup from the car?
This here's Nick Klaus. This here's Chihuahua.
Okay. Now let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny, what are you doing?
Hey. Oh.
Hey, hey, ho. We're just
Okay.
recording.
So now
We're
back in the
not live streaming
Zoom.
yet, so we don't
Is
have to
somebody
worry
else in
about
the
it.
waiting room?
Nope, just me. What? Hang on.
Turn the light out
Okay. So
so they can see you.
yes.
Got it. Mute audio. Nope.
Yes.
Switch camera. My video.
All right. Thank you very much.
I only see two of
You
us.
too. Right.
Hey, there's one in the waiting room.
Oh, let's see. Let him in. Let him in. I'm gonna let him in.
Huh?
I'm not on my phone yet.
Oh, because we're not live streamed yet.
Oh, you're not there yet.
Well, we send the consent. So
Okay, we're getting ready to kick this show off here in Innervision FM. I'm gonna go down to the player and turn off our theme song. By the way, that's a Little Hater by Wayne Turner, the instrumental version. As you join us tonight,
that was not played over. But there we go.
all right. We are here live, and Alan, you're talking to your roommate.
No, I was talking to you. We didn't hear the Little Wayne, Little Hater by
Oh,
Wayne Turner.
oh, okay. I forgot to have her set up the audio for that. It's always something. Mr. DJ, Mr. Ant, are you there? Now, maybe I have to unmute you there.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are, my man. Yeah, yeah. Hey, we'd like to thank you for joining us as we kick off this hour. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to have a gentleman that's been in the business for many years. He had a humble start, and now he's built up a list of a roster of artists that he works with, and we definitely want to give you some insight on how to be a successful music manager. And well, before we do that, we want to also let you know that you can share the show, like it, and we our subscribers are growing, and we thank you guys for subscribing, and tell other people as well, because we're on the move. We're the, as I like to say, we're the only two blind TV producers here in Colorado, and so hey, it's happening.
At
So
least that
Alan,
we know. Johnny started back in 1991, and you released a film. You got started early in the film industry, which a lot of folks will often start in the music industry and branch out into films. You appeared to have done it the other way around a little bit. You
Yes.
a not quite a length feature film, but it was about 45 minutes, and it was a decent work for the time. Uh, then you
Yeah.
branched out of music, and this is what we're all about right here. How to become a 20-year veteran in the music business. Um, there's lots of different things involved, from management of music to supervising. So you got a music supervisor. There are differences. I have no idea what they are. I'm just getting involved myself at the end of my life. So there you go.
All
Tell
right.
us a little bit about that, Johnny.
Well, man, is this you have to envision it, and then you just have to decide that you want to do it, and then go for it, and then surround yourself with a bunch of good people, and it happens. Because
Success like
I've had a
what
lot of good
had
people around me.
and
So
success with DJ Ant, I believe.
yeah. So DJ Ann, so tell us, you're there in Florida, which I mean, right now we've got all the snow outside. Well, right now you see a picture of me in
Yeah,
Hawaii.
you in Costa Rica right now. Hawaii.
Yeah,
Right, enjoying all that good stuff
yeah,
down there in warm
yeah,
weather.
yeah. That's where my mind is at right now. So I like to keep that in the
I like
background.
that. I like that.
So, so tell us. Let's see. I mean, were you born in Florida, or like how did you get down there?
Yeah,
And
I was born in Northwest Florida in Fort Walton Beach on Eglin Air Force Base. My dad was in the Air Force.
wow, okay. So you
Oh,
probably traveled quite a
all
bit
right.
around.
And I wasn't old enough. I wasn't old enough to know those days at the time. I can't say I had experience. I wasn't old enough to know what was going on at the time.
Right.
Wow. Oh, okay. So so when you were growing up, I mean, like, was there people in the music business that you observed, or how did you get like musically inclined though?
My father and my uncles, they
Okay.
always played. They played like literally when I was little. Every day coming home from school, I'm hearing music. Like
That's
my
the one
dad, my
that unites
late
us.
father. What you finna say?
Oh, I just said that's the one thing that unites us is music.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I was a jitty boy at like between 5 and 6, I would hear stuff like TransUnion Express, and I was crazy
Oh,
about this song. And everybody was like, "But you're black. That's like European EDM music." I'm like, "What they got to do with the song?" I like the song. It give me my vibe. But like my dad used to pick up records from all over every country he go to. He would buy vinyl in the area or whatever going on, and we would always hear it at home. So it was always music playing.
Wow. Yeah. So you had a diversity. Yeah, because sometimes I've been over to Europe, and sometimes music it hits over there before it comes here, and I guess sometimes in the South the music hits in the South, and then it spreads across the United States. So yeah, so you were hearing like international stuff.
Yeah, I was on all that old. I'm 34, but I'm still stuck in the 70s, 80s, man. I like the funk era, man. I ain't really into all this. I call it life insurance music going on
Yeah,
right now.
life
yeah,
insurance. Fine.
yeah. Like oh, I heard like Cool in the Game is doing some concerts. Uh, let's see, Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire. Shoot.
Without Lionel Richie though.
Yeah, the Commodores just wasn't hitting it. I know they were, on that night train, but it wasn't going too far.
Yeah, we actually booked them down here in Hayes City, but everybody knew Lionel wasn't coming. But they did their thing though. Like I
Oh,
didn't know
wow.
the dude. I didn't know the dude in the group did the Brick House song, so that was new for me.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
okay. Okay, yeah, because I'm thinking, yeah, I thought could have been like Lionel Richie, but yeah, he was sounded similar, but it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it kind of threw me off. I'm like, oh, I just learned something new.
Right.
I always thought that was Booster Collins or somebody on that song.
I heard that. I heard that. Oh, that was another one, Bootsy Collins. I mean, like I'm old school. So Bootsy Collins like 1 year older than me, and I heard that he was playing bass in James Brown group, and he was only like 13, and he's out there playing
Wow.
bass with the with Mr. Brown himself. And I said, man, I said, shh. I said, it takes all kinds, and people sometimes they get their calling before the rest of us, and some of us as others we're still kind of figure out what is our calling, and here's Bootsy Collins, 13 years old, jamming with James Brown. So hey, that's the way it goes. But okay, so you started like hearing like all this variety of music and so forth like that. So did you start producing your music first with yourself, or
Oh, I was always the one pouring my water in the other cup.
okay,
So when I
okay,
first started, I didn't intentionally become a DJ. That's the crazy part. I was always the person making custom ringtones. Like when Nextel was out, I was the one making custom ringtones for everybody. When Napster and BearShare and LimeWire was all
Oh, wow.
popular, I was the one making mix CDs. So it's kind of like I was the pirater, if you want to say.
and so you
If
you would bring it to the parties and stuff like your mixtape and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like
okay,
I tell everybody, like right now, the kids so used to if you was born after '96, you're more into the MP3 era. But I tell people like I literally still have cassette tapes in my room. Like
wow,
right now, I have a cassette player and cassette tapes in my room. Cause
well,
like I come from vinyl and cassette tapes and 8 tracks. They don't know about that right now. They're like, what?
yeah,
That was the MP3 back then. You had to get on tape player and press record and play.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I heard the vinyl was coming back, which
Yeah, but it's about 1,000,000 times more expensive than it was
oh
when
yeah,
y'all was getting it.
Oh, man.
yeah. My
Yeah.
brother, I
Yeah.
left all my albums at my house because I said, what am I gonna do? My brother said, can I have them? I guess they have a record player there, but yeah, the vinyl is to me the vinyl is king. It's just a different sound, just a different sound. All
You
right.
can't beat that analog now.
Oh yeah. So you did the mixtape. You were hitting the party. Now, did you have a crew with you? Like someone, they brought this and the other person brought that, or were you the crew that brought everything, the speakers, everything?
A little bit of both. I had invested my first like $400 into a dual CD player with the green screen on top with the little mixer all in one.
All right.
It's like I started on CDs. I started DJing off CDs, so I would have had a CD book of maybe 300-400 CDs with the track list on the index card,
Right.
and I was I was taught because everybody before me was on vinyl, so it was a little hard for me. I started thinking that BPMs and tempo made the DJ, if you want to say so, because down south we're more on the mix or mixing and mashups and blending, and up north is more scratching. So I don't know how to scratch at all, but I could carry a crowd for about 6-7 hours.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. So what would you do? Like block parties or like house parties or
Everything,
oh yeah, okay.
everything. It don't matter what genre, what race, or nothing. Like I'm every genre. Only the genre I really didn't tap into because I can't get into it is like house music, like deep house.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You really got to stay up on it if you're gonna be into it like that.
Yeah, I heard that. Okay. Well,
Understood.
now, where did it start taking? Because people are booking you for different events. I mean, did they sometimes book you for outside of your city, or was it like you had to circle and they know that if they want to get the party going, who to call DJ in?
Yeah, that's why I got my moniker from the crunkiest DJ in the South because I won't say I'm the first, but I was one of the DJs that would run in the crowd with my shirt off and dance while I'm DJing. So they kind of like said, man, y'all seen this fat dude got off stage, throw his shirt off and just go to DJing. he talking to people in the crowd while the music playing, and he run back on stage and still be mixing. And that's kind of how I kept getting
Oh,
booked because people wanted to see that. They wanted to
oh,
see that
high
gimmick.
energy. Yeah, high
Yeah,
energy. Yeah, I heard that.
even when playing country music, punk rock or heavy metal, I'm in the crowd with hip hop clothes on, but I'm rocking out with, with white contacts on or green contacts on. Like I had a whole little idea. Every time I thought of an idea, I just tried to see if it worked. Cause
Wow. Okay.
it was that fun for me.
Now, okay. So when did you start like meeting other people, and starting like to like produce them and get them out there and
It was
booking shows?
like 2008.
Okay.
I know the exact dates because I got them on calendars, but that's when I started. I became a bona fide babysitter. That's what I call it when you get into the management.
Bonafide babysitter. That's awesome.
Now, now you gotta tell me like, okay, what do you mean? What's the background about that? Because
I consider anybody that's like I'm not in the industry yet, but I have people that I know that are high in the industry, but they have more, high power clients than me. I'm still in the underground, but it's basically like you being a glorified babysitter. Like you gotta make sure they get up on time, they gotta get the meetings at time, you gotta tell them how to carry an interview, you gotta tell them artist development, when to promote an album, when it need to come out, projections, how much money they get every quarter. You gotta tell them, you gotta get an ASCAP BMI, you gotta run the whole nine. Now some might not listen because they just want to rap. They don't care about the business end of it.
now now a lot of them probably say like they just want you to do that, but you got a life, and what do you tell those ones that said, well, we just want you to do that, and but they're not, they don't have enough cash in the pocket to pay for your rent and lights and all that kind of stuff. What do you say to
Hey,
those guys? Because I know a lot of people say, I want you to do that, but and it's like, but they don't have a big enough fan base to pay you for your valuable work that you're giving off to them. How do you handle that?
it depends on the genre, honestly. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because, like I said, I've dealt with punk rock, I dealt with rock and roll, I dealt with country artists, I've dealt with heavy metal artists. But in rap music specifically, it's like you can go spend $500-$600 on clothes. You can go spend $200-$300 on party favors or whatever your choice habit is. But you can't pay them. You can't pay a manager to be a manager, or you don't want to pay for recording time, but you'll get on the song and talk about how much money you got or how you making it, but you don't want to pay for the services. So it's kind of like I tell them straight up, like I'm real honest and I'm real transparent. I just tell them, listen, either you're gonna be able to pay or make a budget where you don't have to pay per se weekly. You might have to pay bi-weekly or monthly, or we can do like the majors do, and you just gonna give me 75% of your publishing or some points on the back end.
Right.
So if you don't make nothing or you do make something, I still get paid in the back end.
I heard that. I heard Kanye West was complaining that, all these people, they wanted his beats, but they didn't want to pay for it. And I when he started, when he was 16, 17, that was then. But he said, hey, I gotta eat.
All right. You
So
gonna give me some points or some publishing or something.
yeah, yeah. And then I've had artists that you teach them how to do it, and then they start doing it. Putting their live shows on BMI or Sound or ASCAP or whatever. But then they get lazy. But you don't get lazy, and you keep putting that stuff down, and so you're continuing getting the royalties. But they dropped out of the doing it for themselves. So you have that too. I'm thinking. Or maybe.
You on point, but it's even worse now, Mr. Johnny, because of streaming. Streaming has made it so hard for the independent to make money. Legitly, might say, because a lot of people are
Oh,
buying fake views and fake listeners and fake bots and
yeah.
fake
About
nothing
that,
but
all the followers and yeah.
yeah. So like these days, the new generation, I call it Generation X, the 2000
Mm.
babies, they'll tell you, oh, I got 50,000, 60,000 followers on Instagram, but you can't bring 10 paid people to the club. But you
Wow.
want to tell me you charge $5,000 for a show, and I'm looking like you can't even get 10 people to pay for you to come in. They want to come in free. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
Now I don't know if you did do this. I used to, when I was in the booking, I used to do this. I used to put, on the website. I said, okay, if you sell so many tickets by this day, the show will continue. If you don't sell this many tickets, well, I can cancel the show.
Right.
And what happened? Have you done that? And what happens when you say, okay, put up or shut up? Let's see how many people buy tickets online.
I mean, I leave that
They're
to
called
after
the
the event.
bluff.
I leave that to after the events. I don't even. That's what they do down here, making ticket sales. But I be telling artists, if you tired of doing showcases or mix shows, if you cannot bring at least 20, I say at least 20 paying people, then you ain't ready to be doing your own shows. Because I feel like if you have, say for instance, my favorite example is the rapper Boosie. Boosie used to have at least 50 to 100 people on stage with him everywhere he go.
On the stage, not in the
On the
audience.
on the stage.
Okay.
Literally on the stage. And ain't
Okay.
none of them paying because they with him. So it's in the contract that this is entourage. So I'm looking at it like, just think about, say for instance, the ticket's $30 a person. You got 100 on stage. You do the math of how much money you missed just on stage.
That's a
You,
lot of money.
you feel what I'm saying? So
I saw that in Denver in 2006, and I thought it was just here in Denver, but it's out there too. That is wow.
they will they will argue with you tooth and nail about who get in. They with me. They with me. They with me. Well, somebody got to pay.
Huh.
I thought, man, I thought that was a Denver. I said, what are all those people doing on the stage? Oh, that's part of the group. I said, wait a minute. It's not like the old days, like bass, drummer, guitarist, lead singer, but those other guys, they said this person has a verse here, this person has a verse there. I said, well, maybe you could put them all on the CD and then have them pay to get in. But that's
even with the studio, even with the recording studio, like I honestly feel like it shouldn't be no more than at max 5 people. If you're not a band, if you're a solo artist, it shouldn't be 20 people in the studio with
Right.
now.
you.
I just thought about this with technology. If you want all those people, you can live stream it on Face. Well, I don't know if they want to live because that's almost putting the product out there before it's out there. Or you give a private feed, and all those people can look at it on a private feed
But
and get down the way.
it'd be some artists, like I have a studio in D-Land, Florida, it's like 15 minutes outside of Daytona.
All right.
And I'm in Central Florida. I'm in Polk County. We like right in the middle. We're an hour
Oh
from
yeah,
Tampa.
brother. Oh wow. Huh.
So it be people want to book a session, but they don't. They want to bring 12 people with them. Like these people
Wow.
smoking weed, they drinking alcohol, they
Oh,
got this going
Right.
on. It's too much foot traffic going on. We're supposed to be recording. I just need you, your manager, and your cameraman. If you got a songwriter, bring them. Everybody sign. They do they DNA papers or whatever
splits.
papers you
Yeah.
got, and let's record. But all these third party people, no.
That is wow. Well, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to DJ N. Also, I'd like to thank Christian Brothers for sponsoring a year worth of our shows, and thank you very much for doing that, Brother Brian. And we're just getting some insight on how to be a successful music manager. And we're talking with DJ N, who's down in Florida, and just getting some eye-opening things because Now, okay, when Earth, Wind, and Fire recorded the first album, I heard that they sequestered them like at a ranch way out in the country, and they said he said they're not going to get out there until the album is finished. Now I know you can't afford to take that much time out of your life or whatever. So how do you get from point A to point B, and the average, like say for a hip hop artist, how about the average hip hop artist? How long does it take to get from beginning to finish? And I know it depends, but give me a
Yeah, it
roundabout.
really does. Like I would say, it depends on the actual situation. Is there an artist, they're a solo artist? Like with rap music, these people they'll make a beat in 10 minutes, make a hook in 15 minutes, and then they freestyle a verse and then go back and dub the verse. Now, if you have a band, that's different because everybody plays the actual instrument, they're actual musicians. So that's when it really get technical.
Yep.
Especially if you have a group who's disgruntled and one don't get along with the other, and one don't get along with the other, so you got to record him solo, and he got to ad lib this recorder, and you like, why y'all just can't not be mad at each other for this hour session?
Right. Exactly.
Now
Like,
tell
hey,
me. Oh, go ahead.
hey,
Go ahead.
play.
You're cutting in and out. Say that again, Alan.
Oh, I just said it's like you guys are paying to play, so why not play?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, now when they're ad libbing like that, because I know like a lot of albums they have the writing of the words of the album. So do you have them go back and say, okay, now you ad lib this song, okay, write down your lyrics, or is that like pulling teeth from a cat to get them to write down the lyrics so you can at least have have the lyrics streaming with the song?
With rappers, it is, yes, it's very hard, but with singers, it's not.
Now why is that?
I have no idea. I don't know if it's the ego thing. I don't know if it's they want to emulate. Like most people say, oh, well, Lil Wayne doesn't write his words down. Jay-Z doesn't write his. Well, do you have $1 billion and someone who's a private investor who have $100,000, $200,000 behind you, where you can waste time? No, you don't. So write the music down so you can remember. Because now you're seeing a lot of cases where artists are getting on stage and they don't even remember their own words. So now you like, do they got a songwriter?
Wow.
So it's like, okay, I know a lot of them.
They have a signature move that they actually use that they're known by.
Wait, say that again. What was the question?
Do you have a signature move that you use that you're known by?
I don't understand the question. I don't understand the question.
For me,
Yeah. I'm not sure I understand the question.
What is he known by?
Oh, DJ Ant. DJ Ant.
Something special that he gives the people, or
He gets like a performance, like he did like a high energy show. High energy show.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he meant. I was like, yeah, I dance. Like I be dancing. Like I'm
Oh,
6'4". I'm 6'4", 270 plus pounds. I'm probably about 350, 360 somewhere up there, and I'm juking faster than the skinniest person in the club
That's awesome.
with no shirt on.
But
Yeah.
no shirt. Right.
Well,
That-
the weather is like that out because it's pretty humid down there and hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen snow in real life.
Me and my
And
I've
wife.
been to,
up
I've
here,
been to
boy.
Colorado, but it was just starting to snow. We see the snow flurries, and we hit a deer on accident. But never ever seen snow in real life. I don't even know what it feels like.
Oh, it gets cold, bro. It gets cold. It actually gets to 30 below in some places of Colorado. I know because I lived there. Man.
Woo.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Now let me get back. Let me get because I've seen some even on TV. I've seen some rappers, not so much today, but it was a time where they wouldn't take off the lead vocals, and they're almost like singing along with their vocals on the track. And I'm thinking like, to me, I kind of tell them, take the lead vocals off. We want to hear you.
Yeah.
Now, what are your artists? Some of the artists that you come across. What do they say about that, or do you present that to them like to have a performance track and you know, so when they go
To
out,
be honest, this is gonna sound real crazy, but nowadays when you're booking artists, new or older, I don't like the word old because they music be forever. You wouldn't be trying to book them if they were so old. And what the new word the kids use, irrelevant, whatever. But when you booking an artist now, you got to actually say in the contract that you want a track show or you want a show with a band.
Hmm.
So
That's interesting.
some major artists you have to say that in specific because they will come and have their lead vocals and they'll just be singing their ad libs. Sometimes they might won't sing at all. They just have a track playing with a background singer singing their verses. But yes, it's actually in the contract when it says, "Do you want a track show or a band show?"
That
wow,
is, you know, that brings up a whole different area of topic is gatekeepers. You have certain people that allow for things to fly and allow for things that don't fly so well. Um, and that still is alive and well today. So basically, the theory is that people are discovered and they just get rich and famous overnight, whereas that can be the case. It very rarely is. Um, how do you address that? You've got young performers. You've got those of the Generation Z, the younger millennials, and that kind of thing, and and then you got your generations X and Y, which fall in the year of 2000. Then you got the folks that came before that, the baby boomers and that kind of thing, where the more what do you say, aged and enriched and chronologically advanced musicians are. Um, how do you deal with all that? With I don't know, with all the different gatekeepers, as it were, that are involved. Oftentimes, you don't want too many old folks that look like James Brown, so to speak. So you shelve their music, but yet you take their music and you can steal it and go ahead and use it for bits in commercials and whatnot. Even though this musician, he may be very talented, you'll never see him.
Facts.
did you get that?
Yeah, I always say this my metaphor. I say overnight take 8 to 10 years. So
Right?
if you think so, if you don't think you can be grinding and building relationships for 8 10 years before you actually quote unquote pop off, this ain't the game for you. If you feel like you're gonna be the next hottest thing in 5 days.
So
So what's
yeah,
your dedication? Stay with it and hit it, as James Brown would
Dedication,
say.
dedication, relationships, and consistency.
Oh yeah, man.
yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
People like to leave out like when you go to these music conferences, they say the same thing every year. So why would I pay $100 to $500 to hear you tell me the same thing you said last year? Just keep grinding. We'll see you at the top. That's not helping the artist. No, you gotta tell these people, man, listen. A lot of people get where they at because either they got good character or good relationships. It's half the time it don't have nothing to do with music.
Wow.
So, so pretty much like the personality draws a lot of people, and then they have the music is a plus. Or when they do a concert or event, it's the atmosphere that draws the people even more than just the audience because they're having a certain experience.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm an old soul, man. I tell people I've been here before. So I'm an '80s baby, but I done been here before. And I always say character can get you in doors that some that money can't.
Absolutely. That's where it's all about, is caring for other people, having that altruistic attitude, basically the idea that putting the other person first. That kind of way is still alive and well in America and around the world. You're with us on InnervisionFM.com, folks. We're joined by DJ Ant. Got Johnnie J in the house. I'm Alan C. See?
And give us a thumbs up as you watch the show. Okay. What I want to. Okay. This is what I want to know as well.
I want Alan's beard.
Yeah.
Like that beard, do you?
Oh, man.
Beard game.
Yeah.
Now, how much of you? Okay. So we got the the understanding that some of these guys are going to pay for studio time and some of the other things. Do you sometimes advise them, if they're not good with money and calculating, to get their mother, their dad, or sister or girlfriend to help them along with
Power
that?
of attorneys.
How do you? No, well, I don't. Well, that's a little bit down the line, but I'm just talking about in the beginning. I'm talking about the beginning. What do you tell them, like, so they can get their finances in order? Because I hear that so many times that the artists, they just don't have the finances together, and maybe they're creative and that's where they're at.
When it come to money, no family involved. Please, anybody listening, at the speak of my voice, say no. If you got a cousin, sister, brother, mama, auntie, no. No. Find you an attorney, an entertainment attorney. Some of them do pro bono. Sometimes a distant stranger do put you in a better position than somebody that's close to you, because then they can get over on you emotionally or financially.
No, that's wild.
That's why I joke around about the power of attorney thing. That's definitely something that does have the potential to transpire, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Now,
you see a lot of situations with momagers and dadagers. Like, perfect instance, Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, right, brother? Yep.
Who would have think after all these years that she was having all these issues with her daddy that just came to the light all of a sudden?
Huh.
Yeah, and to be 38, I can imagine being 38 years old and having my mama tell me who I can have a baby with. I said, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was weird.
Well, yeah, to say the least. I mean,
then you start looking at situations like where the media is gonna portray however they want to portray a person. But then you start to look at situations like when she was riding down the street bald headed with a baby in her hand. You start to realize, oh, this is why she was going crazy, because everybody telling her what she need to do, but ain't nobody asking her what she want to do.
There you go.
Everybody telling you what you need to do, but ain't nobody asking you what you want to do.
Yeah.
So back to your question. I mean, even right now, it's some people who have their mamas as their manager, but you got to realize they had a mindset of, I brought you in this world, I can take you out.
Right, bro.
If you making money to the point where people calling to book you and I'm your momager, then you owe me money too. So say for instance, you making 10, 15, 20 grand a show. Your mama might take 10 for herself and go shopping.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got, but you, the artist, are responsible for reporting that money to your LLC or your bank. So now you owe half of 30% to the bank.
Loves you
Now you in debt.
That's right.
Yeah, I see so many, and even today, how artists get caught up in that tax. They didn't pay their taxes because somebody, and I think a lot of us are not financially taught, and it has we expect the school to teach it, but the school's not can't teach everything. But it's almost like it's up to the parents to say, okay, let's step aside here. Let me teach you something about finances. And one thing, when I was 12, when I thought I got my first job, and it made me so mad. I got my first job, and I'm gonna just spend all my money on records and all that stuff. My mother said, "No, you have to pay rent." she took money, but when I was 18, my graduation present was she gave me back all the money she saved, and I went out to California. But I thought she was just putting it in the pocket, but not realizing she was just showing me how to put money aside and not spend everything.
I always say this now that I'm 34. I wish I knew what I knew now back then. I would have had a business at 18 years old and just let it sit and then benefit later. Like financial literacy is definitely in the black community is not a topic, a hot topic. You either gonna be playing basketball, you gonna play football, you going to jail, or you gonna be a drug dealer. It ain't no, you need to be an accountant, lawyer, doctor, physician, nurse.
Plumber.
Unless you a little, but if you want to be, you don't hear plumber, you don't hear trash man, you might get a little funeral home director depending on how your family is, but you don't never hear nobody talk about financial literacy. They talk about spend, not save or budget.
Or invest. I listen to this guy now on YouTube, Dr. Boyce. And
Boyce Watkins.
Yeah. And I love that guy. I wish I would have known him when I was younger, man. But, because he was talking about you could buy McDonald's stock in 92 for $12. And I said, I had $12 back in I had a lot of $12 in 92. Shoot. But it's like, but and then trying to pass it off to the kids. So tell me,
I can talk about anything, Mr. Johnson. That's why I say anything you throw at me. I'm well rounded, man. I hang around people your age. I don't hang around my age. I like wisdom. I don't like microwave. I don't like microwave knowledge.
No, I heard that.
Awesome.
Now tell me, when you do like a live event, what is I guess you told us a little bit about like the people having 30 people on stage, but what's been some of the interesting things that the day of the show, or maybe even like an hour before the show starts, that have happened that you think back on and say that was pretty crazy.
You want to hear the worst?
Yeah, well, a little bit of both. Yeah, the worst. Yeah.
My worst experience was we had this outdoor concert in Quincy, Florida, outside of Tallahassee. It had to be at the end of the show. It was a Kappa Luau for the Kappa's FAMU. It had to been about 6,000 to 10,000 people in that field. But before everybody got there, the stage collapsed.
Oh man!
So we ended up trying to help. We ended up trying to help the dude because I guess he didn't tighten enough. So everybody that's involved, we helped them put the stage back up. But it was like we was in shock for about 15 minutes because it was so loud. It was just like clack, 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 boom.
Oh man!
And I was like, bro, how you put all these speakers on and lights and sound and booths on here and the flow ain't even stable because we're on a clay grass, so the clay, clay is not stable.
Oh man!
So he was like, bro, you should have put mats down, a concrete slab or something.
Anything, man.
But it was about 100 people out there, including staff, and we was all terrified because it was just so loud.
Wow!
You hear everybody talking and having a good time, then you just hear clack, 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 boom.
Wow!
But yeah, that was the worst. Now, one of the most things that I stress about when I'm actually doing events, because like I don't DJ as much as I used to. I used to do a lot of corporate events now. I got tired of the promoters trying to hustle you all the time. So the corporate events is more, you ain't got to deal with all that BS. But when it comes to security, man, my funniest moment is a girl she had to be like 450 pounds, and she ran on stage, pushed by 30 security guards down just to get close to Plies. And then he hugged her, but his security guard, he like 6'8", and he pushed the girl off stage, but the stage was like 6 feet high.
Oh shoot!
Oh man!
So it was kind of like, whoa, timber!
Wow! Oh man, that should be in a movie.
And
That...
she got up and brushed the dirt off her like ain't nothing happened. I'm like, man, Sue, listen, Sue.
That is wow.
That's pretty crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, you're on InnervisionFM.com. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy things like this, hit us up at info@InnervisionFM.com and give us an email as well.
Man, we definitely have to have you back on the show again because I love the stories you're telling. And you got some wisdom far beyond your years here, and I like that kind of stuff. Now tell us about maybe 3 artists that you have that you're working with now that they're solid people that you say, hey, these guys, look out for their name.
Yeah, you said the right word, solid. Please say that again. Bring that back one more time.
Solid. Yeah, buddy, solid.
If you read my bio on my website, it's a lot of artists I work with, and they got to the door and they said F me after they got the contract, and then they still owe Universal and Atlantic Records right now an album or something because you got to understand when the train in motion, and then somebody want to attach their logo to the train got to keep moving. You can't just depend on the quote unquote label to push you. The label is there to get a kickback. They giving you a sign-on bonus because that's a loan. That is not free money. That's I need you to do this, and we're gonna stamp our logo on it. So you got to keep doing what you was doing that caught our attention. But most think, oh, I got the deal. I can sit back and shield. No, you're gonna get shelved.
Shelf, yeah. And people, what it means to shelf is like they may sign you, but they may have another artist that sounds just like you, but they may want you to write music or lyrics for that artist, and so they'll put you in the background until they think you're ready.
Or they'll take your whole catalog and take your vocals off and put that artist on them.
Yeah, that one too.
Like they used to do in the 60s with James Brown quartet.
Say that again.
Like they used to do in the 60s with James Brown and the quartets. They made a doo-wop version of James Brown music, so he kept making music faster, so they couldn't keep up with him.
I heard about that. Or I definitely heard about that, man. Wow. Or like I guess in one of in Ray Charles' movie, the background singers got drunk and he had to put them out, and then he just tracked their voices and he did all the voices. Well, sometimes people think they're ready and they just want the bragging rights to go out and say, hey, I got signed, but they're not ready to do the work.
And then they be tired, and then they'll make videos on, since we have social media, they get on social media and complain about their deal, but you signed it though.
That's right.
All I say is, what did you sign? Right. You say you signed the deal and you're not happy, but what did you sign? And 9 times out of 10, they're gonna tell you, I don't know what I signed. I just know they gave me $250,000 up front, and I blowed 60,000 on the chain.
Oh man. I hear a lot about this in the basketball as well. These players, they come from a poor background, and they put them in this position. And I hate it that the college basketball, they make all this money, but they're not paying the players, even though they're unprofessional. But everybody else is making money off of them until they get into the pros. And I think they're trying to change that.
Yeah, they have, but I think it's detrimental in my opinion. You just think about it. You come fresh out of high school and you can get endorsements of $10,000, $20,000 You really think he gonna put that towards school when he got a full ride scholarship? If he that good, you really think he gonna pay for his books and his living? If you offering 10, 20, $30,000 cash, and they ain't got to pay no taxes on it, man, they finna go crazy. They finna go buy the newest car. They finna buy jewelry. They gonna buy friends. They gonna buy family. They might go spend $5,000 on scratch out tickets and hope one of them hit.
Oh God. Oh man, ladies, we really got to teach your kids like finances. I mean, oh man, this is it's frustrating, but like I saw Dave Chappelle, he did a comedy thing on that everybody got the reparation, and Kentucky Fried Chicken stock went up, and, and it's like, oh man, but oh well. Anyway, man, we're gonna let you go. What? Tell us some of the solid stuff. Like
we gotta get back to the question.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
They let you know we king spirits. You know what I'm saying? We got good orals right now. But,
Yeah,
I want y'all to check out King Brown 2K on YouTube. King Brown. You know how to spell King? BRON 2K. He got a song called Rockstar.
Okay.
He's a green-eyed biracial kid, but the song is fire.
Okay.
That's how he come on stage and say. Then we have Chemo the Singer, KeeMoThesinger. He's more R&B, pop, rapish. And then we have one JDP. Now this is for the grown folks. If you grown and sexy and you want to just pop a song in, you and your wife sipping some Marlowe or some champagne, and y'all don't want to hear all that cussing and all that extra stuff, you know, you just want to sip wine, or you might smoke your cigar, or you want to go play with your dog out the door. You know, I see Mr. Allen with his dog, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gonna click in that JDP and that Pearl to the World, because it's more it's more of that Southern soul music. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Definitely. Oh, and give people a way they can get a hold of you too.
All right. This DJ Ant, man. Y'all tuning to Innervision TV, man. With Mr. Johnny and Mr. Allen, man. I'm the crunkest DJ in the South, straight out of Central Florida, Haines City, Florida, to be exact. If you know about Polk County, you know about Grady Judd. That's all I got to say. But listen, you can find me at djantv.com. That's djantv.com. Everything is there. I do not have an Instagram right now. My account is disabled. It's been disabled for a month. But you can find me on Facebook at DJ Ant863 or DJ Ant V. I come up on all Google searches and everything. Just put DJ Ant863.
Right on.
All right, man. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to have you back again because.
Thank you.
So, I mean, this
thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you.
All right.
You hear me?
Having a great evening, guys. God bless everybody.